Imagine a world where the shelves in your local grocery store are empty, not just for a day or a week, but for months on end. Imagine the richest, most powerful nation on earth, brought to its knees, not by war or disease, but be younger. This isn't a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie. This is a potential future some analysts are warning about. The Great American Famine. For decades, America has been the world's breadbasket. Its vast, fertile plains and advanced agricultural technology have fed not only its own people, but a significant portion of the globe. This abundance has been a cornerstone of American power and influence. But what if that cornerstone started to crumble? The American food system is a modern marvel of efficiency, a complex web of farms, processing plants, and supply chains. But its very complexity is also its greatest weakness. It's a system built for stability, not for shock. And right now, it's facing a perfect storm of challenges that could push it to the breaking point. Let's start with the most fundamental ingredient. Water. The American West, home to a huge portion of our fruit, vegetable, and nut production, is in the grip of a historic mega. The Colorado River, a lifeline for 40 million people and millions of acres of farmland, is shrinking. Lakes Mead and Powell, the two largest reservoirs in the country, are at critically low levels. Farmers are being forced to fallow their fields, letting productive land go dry simply because there isn't enough water to go around. This isn't a future problem. It's happening right now. Then there's the issue of our soil. Decades of industrial farming, with its reliance on chemical fertilizers and monocultures, have depleted the topsoil of vital nutrients. We're essentially farming on life support, pumping our soil full of synthetic inputs just to maintain yields. Healthy topsoil is a living ecosystem, and we've been treating it like dirt. The result? Our land is becoming less resilient, more vulnerable to erosion, and less capable of producing nutritious food. Now, let's talk about the supply chain. We all got a taste of its fragility a few years ago. A single blockage, a labor shortage, or a transportation bottleneck can create a ripple effect that empties shelves thousands of miles away. Our food travels an average of 1,500 miles from farm to plate. This long-distance dependency means a single disruption, whether it's a spike in fuel prices, a natural disaster, or a cyber attack on a major distributor, could snap the chain. And we can't ignore the economic pressures. The cost of everything a farmer needs, fuel, seeds, equipment, is skyrocketing. Fertilizer prices, in particular, have been wildly volatile, heavily influenced by global events and energy costs. Many smaller family farms are being squeezed out, unable to compete. This consolidation of agriculture into the hands of a few massive corporations reduces diversity and increases systemic risk. If one of these giants fails, the impact would be catastrophic. So, you have less water, degraded soil, a fragile supply chain, and crushing economic pressures. It's a recipe for disaster. But how could this lead to a famine in a country like America? It might not look like the famines of history, with starving masses in the streets. It would likely start subtly. First, you'd see prices. Not just the inflation we're used to, but shocking, exponential price spikes for basic goods. Fresh produce would become a luxury item. Then, you'd see shortages. Not just of your favorite brand of chips, but of staples like bread, milk, and eggs. Shelves would be inconsistently stocked. Rationing, whether formally imposed or informally created by panic buying, could become a reality. The social fabric would begin to tear. Food insecurity breeds desperation and civil unrest. When people can't feed their families, the social contract breaks down. We would see a rise in crime, protests, and a deep, corrosive distrust in our institutions. This internal chaos would cripple the nation's ability to function, let alone project power on the global stage. An America unable to feed itself is an America that can no longer lead. Its economic might would evaporate. Its geopolitical influence would vanish. Allies who depend on American food exports would be forced to look elsewhere, forging new alliances. Adversaries would see a nation consumed by internal crises, a giant weakened from within. This is how empires fall, not always with a bang, but with the slow, gnawing pain of hunger. Is this future inevitable? No. But avoiding it requires us to wake up and act now. This isn't about partisan politics. It's about our collective survival. We need a fundamental shift in how we think about food and farming. We need to invest in water conservation and infrastructure, creating more resilient water systems. This means exploring technologies like desalination and advanced water recycling, but also promoting farming techniques that use less water, like drip irrigation. We need to rebuild our soil. This means embracing regenerative agriculture practices like cover cropping, no-till farming, and managed grazing that restore soil health, sequester carbon, and create more resilient, nutrient-dense food. We need to decentralize our food system. This means supporting local and regional farms, community gardens, and farmers markets. Building shorter, more robust supply chains makes us less vulnerable to long-distance disruptions. Knowing your farmer shouldn't be a novelty. It should be the norm. And we need policies that support farmers, not just multinational corporations. We need to ensure that the people who grow our food can make a decent living and act as stewards of the land for future generations. The path we're on is unsustainable. The warning signs are flashing red. A great American famine is no longer the stuff of fiction. It is a plausible, terrifying possibility, but it is not our destiny. We have the knowledge, the technology, and the resources to build a food system that is resilient, sustainable, and can feed our nation for centuries to come. The question is, do we have the will? The future of the American empire and the well-being of its people depends on our answer. Thanks for watching. If this topic concerns you, share this video to spread awareness. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the critical issues shaping our world. See you next time.